The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern.
So what does all of this mean exactly? We're not sure what it means, and we're not going to speculate. We do know for certain that the known facts of what happened on January 6th deviate in very important ways from the story they are now telling us, including the story they told us today in the impeachment hearings. And in many places, the known facts bear no resemblance to the story they're telling. They're just flat out lying. There's no question about that. The question is, why would they lie about this? For an answer, think back to last spring. Beginning on Memorial Day, BLM and their sponsors in corporate America completely changed this country. They changed this country more in 5 months than it had changed in the previous 50 years. How'd they do that? They used the sad death of a man called George Floyd to upend our society. Months later, we learned that the story they told us about George Floyd's death was an utter lie. There was no physical evidence that George Floyd was murdered by a cop. The autopsy showed that George Floyd almost certainly died of a drug overdose, fentanyl.
They're never going to confess. Y'all better get off that. Y'all better get off this thing when you're waiting on the white supremacists to confess to something that harms us. That's just not going to happen. Family, even with the trial with George Floyd, right now, they're cooking up a narrative, and this is a narrative that's coming out of the white supremacist think tanks. The narrative that they've cooked up now is, well, George Floyd didn't get choked to death. He died of a drug overdose. This is a lie that's been passed down from the white think tanks, and what happens is the white supremacists, enough of them have to get on code with this lie. All they need are 12 people to get in a jury and get on code with this lie. That's how white supremacy works. It's all about the I'm white and I say so lie. Now, we saw George Floyd get murdered by that race soldier. We saw it with our own eyes. But with the I'm white and I say so narrative, I'm white and I say so is all about dominance. We know you saw what you saw, but we're white and we say you didn't see what you saw. No, I did. I just saw him murder him. No, you didn't. You saw a Negro who was on drugs die of a drug overdose. That makes no sense. Nigger, it does make sense because I'm white and I say so. I'm white and I say it makes sense. And I have the muscle and the military and the system to back up my I'm white and I say so lie. That's what it boils down to, black people. I want y'all to understand that. It all boils down to them having the muscle to back up their lies. That's where black people need to get it right. They can lie and they got the muscle to back their lies up. See, we break our brains trying to deconstruct and bring proof and, oh, we need body cameras. We need this. We got to show proof. The proof is I'm white and I say so.
They used the sad death of a man called George Floyd to upend our society. Months later, we learned that the story they told us about George Floyd's death was an utter lie. There was no physical evidence that George Floyd was murdered by a cop. The autopsy showed that George Floyd almost certainly died of a drug overdose, fentanyl. But by that point, facts didn't matter. It was too late. Cities had been destroyed, along with the fabric of this country itself. Scores of people had been killed. Democratic partisans used a carefully concocted myth, a lie, to bum rush America into overturning the old order and handing them much more power. It worked flawlessly. So why wouldn't they do it again?
You'll drive yourself crazy trying to prove things to the white supremacists in hopes that they're going to make a confession. They know good and well that George Floyd was murdered by that race soldier.
I wish it wasn't about race. I hate that it's about race. At the end of the day, all those officers involved deserve to go to prison. And that man with your knee on his neck while he's pleading for his life, you deserve to go to prison. And then after prison, you deserve to go to hell.
They know good and well that George Floyd was murdered by that race soldier. But murdering black people is the common law that is legal in the United States. It's a common law that is completely legal. Y'all understand that part of the game? See, we got to understand that.
And if we understand what the dilemma of the white minority population on planet Earth is. And their key survival dilemma is that they are overwhelmingly outnumbered by people of color. And because of their genetic recessive state, they can be genetically annihilated.
But murdering black people is the common law that is legal in the United States. It's a common law that is completely legal. Y'all understand that part of the game? See, we got to understand that.
So it makes sense to them. It makes sense to them to do whatever damage or harm to the black population because we are the population that is most feared.
I want y'all to understand that part of the game. Murdering black people not only is it is not really a crime, it is a part of the culture where you become a hero in white supremacist society. See, we got to learn how to produce justice. We got to learn how to produce our own justice. Waiting on these people to confess, especially confess to being a racist, then they don't do that.
Am I only a God nearby, declares the Lord, and not a God far away? Who can hide in secret places so that I cannot see them, declares the Lord? Do not I fill heaven and earth, declares the Lord.
Welcome back to Crossfire. We're talking to Jon Stewart, who was just lecturing us on our moral inferiority. John, you're bumming us out. Tell us, what do you think of the Bill O'Reilly vibrator story?
No. I'm sorry? I don't. I'm here to confront you because we need help from the media, and they're hurting us. I made a special effort to come on the show today because I have mentioned this show as being bad. Mm-hmm. It's not so much that it's bad as it's hurting America. So I wanted to come here today and say,
wait.
Here's just what I wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop hurting America. I watch your show every day, and it kills me.
I can tell you love it.
It's so painful to watch. Your partisan, what do you call it, hacks.
Wait, John,
you have a responsibility to the public discourse, and you fail miserably.
I think you're a good comedian. I think your lectures are boring.
You're on CNN. The show that leads into me is puppets making crank phone calls. What is wrong with you? It's someone who watches your show and cannot take it anymore. I just can't.
You need to get a job at a journalism
miserably.
School, I think.
You need to go to one. Now, this is theater. I mean, it's obvious. How old are you?
35.
And you wear a bow tie.
Yeah, I do. I hate
so at all.
I do think you're more fun on your show. Just my opinion.
But
Jon Stewart goes one-on-one with his fans.
You're as big a dick on your show as you are on any show.